Good morning, friends. We are learning our subject Machine Learning 3170724. And in that, we are learning Module 2, that is Preparing to Model. In that, in our previous lecture, we have seen the outliers, right? And we can say missing values. Then we have seen we can remove the outliers if they are not too many. Second one is imputation, that is we can replace that with mean, median or mode. And the third one is we can say capping, right? And for missing values we can say we can estimate the records having missing values, eliminate, then we can estimate, and then after we can say we can impute the missing values. Okay, so let us first see its implementation. For that, we have to run all the cells of this file which we have created before. At least we should be able to have all the libraries loaded, as well as we can say whatever data set we wanted to load, that also should be available here. We have started with MPG row CSV. That is why I am showing you that only. Otherwise, you can use any other data set also. Actually, in this, no outlier is there. Still, I am showing you with this only because we already know something about this. How to write the code, that's what I want to show. Otherwise, you yourself can create the outlier and you can handle that. Okay, so let us see that. This description that is known to us, range index that is not required just now, so we'll not be running that. Actually, through the box plot also, we can have the idea whether the outliers are there or not. We can see here, is there anything outside the range? This is what we used to say is, this is the minimum value, this is the maximum value. Then you can say the middle one is median, this is Q1, this is Q3, right? Typically, we used to say it this way. So, can you say that here the outlier is there? No, here we do not find any outlier. We cannot find any dot over here, right? That is the points which are there outside the quartile, that is the third quartile, or you can say less than that of the Q1. That is not available in this data set, right? So if you want to apply, say, outlier detection and then after removal, you can first draw the box plot. You can have the idea whether outliers are there or not, right? Though in this it is not there, I will show you with this data set only. How to do, see, we want to know the procedure, okay? Then you can say you can use any other data set where the outlier is there and you will be able to replace them, okay? So this was the histogram. Now, this was also the histogram which we had tried. Then this is mean, median, what we know already. Fine. So what we want to do is we want to have the outlier. So for that, let us go to RQ. Okay, outlier detection. Fine. This was the recall of the previous lectures. Now we can say outlier detection. For that, what do we say is IQR is what? IQR is Q3 minus Q1, right? That is given to us, isn't it? So for that, let us first check it out. You can say let us first find out the IQR, right? So variable is equal to displacement, that is whatever variable or column title we want to have, that we are keeping here with displacement. Now Q1 is equal to say df of variable dot quantile 25. So we are taking it as 25% quantile, and then after we are taking it as 75% quartile, right? Quantile. So now what we do is that print Q1, that is our first quartile, and Q3 is our third quartile. IQR, that is equal to Q3 minus Q1, and you can see the difference will be able to have, right? This is the method by which we can find the quartile, that is Q1 and Q3. Okay. Now, a method says that inner fence is defined as 1.5 IQR below, that is Q1, and outer fence is 1.5 IQR, that is above the Q3. Okay, 1.5 IQR below Q1 is inner fence and outer fence is 1.5 IQR above Q3, right? So now what we do is outlier is what? Inner fence is equal to 1.5 IQR and outer fence is equal to 3 IQR. Okay, the way we want to say is this one, and we say that outlier is less than inner fence, that is equal to say 1.5 IQR, and out fence, that is outer fence, is equal to 3 IQR, which should be greater than outlier, right? So we mean to say that whatever is less than this one is outlier and whatever is greater than this one is outlier, isn't it? So inner fence is equal to 1.5 IQR and outer fence is 3 IQR, right? So run this. So we are having few values, okay? Now it is for what? If we change the variable here, then it will be changed for all other values, right? So whatever column you want to have, that column is available here, isn't it? So we are finding the inner fence where we say that Q1 minus inner fence and Q3 plus inner fence, right? Inner fence and outer fence, actually they are having the value as 1.5 IQR only. So that's what we are removing because we want to go to less value, and for Q3 plus because we want to go to the more value or outer value, right? So we are taking it as this one, fine. Now what we do is for outer fence also we are having the idea, that is outer fence for less than and for we can say upper end, right? So for both the things we are finding, so we can say outer fence and outer fence, that is less than, and you can say lower end and upper end, right? That's what we have found. We can print them here. So you can see the values. This is Jupyter notebook, isn't it? So our CSV file is available on the local drive only. Print, we can say outer fence LE, and we can say outer fence UE, right? Print it, we can have the idea that what are the values, right? Okay. So now this, do we want to have? No, actually we do not want to have the columns. It is already there with us, and when we know that it is having MPG, cylinders, displacement, horsepower, weight, acceleration, model year, origin, name, these are the columns in this particular data set. Okay. Initialize outlier list. For that we can say that we are having outlier probability and outliers possibility, right? So we can say two arrays in other language, but here we can say they are the list. So this is what we are having. We are the empty list. Now what we do for this, that is we enumerate the df variable. Df variable, that means for this example we are having the displacement, right? So for that what we are doing is we are iterating it, that is we are enumerating it. Now what we do is we are having say two values, one is index and second is x. When we enumerate, we do have two values, one is index and second is its column value. Now for that we are checking if x is less than or equal to outer fence LE or x is greater than or equal to outer fence UE, right? So if it is so, then we'll be able to have outlast underscore prop, that is our variable name, dot append index, right? We are storing the index in it. For index and x in enumerate df of variable, now we are checking for inner fence, right? We are checking for inner fence LE and inner fence upper bound, right? Upper end we can say. So if it is so, then we are storing it in the outlast underscore pos dot append, right? So what we are doing is if we are out, then this particular range is what we have said as the outer fence LE, outer fence UE, inner fence LE and inner fence UE. Then you can see that we are storing them in the outlier list, right? For both the inner and outer fences, we are storing it in the different arrays. Here, different list, right? Okay. So now, after that, we'll be printing them, what are the values they are having. So we'll be able to have the outlines. Fine. So let me run this. Here we do not have any outline, right? So now what you have to do is you have to use this for your own data set. Try this and you will tell me that whether you are having the outlier or not. If it is there, we'll have to remove them. We have to replace them with mean, median, mode or any common value for that, right? So that's what we want to detect and then after we'll be able to replace it. So how will you create that? You will create that if you are not having, but first of all, I want you to try this code for your own CSV file and tell me that whether you are getting this or not. Have the box plot and show me whether you are getting that thing or not. Okay, so you will do that first, or let me finish two topics of this chapter, then after you can try. Okay, what do you want? First you want to try? Yes, tell something, message, write in comments. What you want? First you want to finish the last two topics or you want to try for this program, and whatever are your problems you can discuss with me. At least write something in comments, yeah. Okay, let me finish those two topics, then you can try and ask me. So data pre-processing, dimensionality reduction. Okay, what is that? High dimensional data set needs a high amount of computational space and time. At the same time, all features are not useful. Most of the machine learning algorithm performs better if number of features in the data set is reduced, right? Number of features in the data set is reduced. Dimensionality reduction refers to the reduction of dimensions by creating new attributes by combining the original ones, right? Dimensionality reduction. See, dimensionality is when you are having a table, in that whatever features are there. That is, you can say that horizontally if we are going, then you will be able to have the columns, right? When you are going vertically, we are having the rows, right? So if we reduce the dimensions, we can say what will be there? We will be able to have the less data. How the dimensionality reduction is actually done? Let me show you that. if we are having the table, let me have the table here. So this is the table, right? This is column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, column 5, right? This way it is there. And here we can see that here we'll be having the rows, right? So this will be having the value for row 1. Let me put one more column so it will be better for us, right? Yeah, here we can say we'll be having the row 1 horizontal, right? Here you can see this is row 2, this is row 3, right? This way we are having the data. Now, these are said as features also, right? These are said as features also. Now, what should we do is we should try to reduce this. Then it is said as we are reducing the dimensions, or we can say that we are reducing the features, right? So how we can reduce the features? You may ignore, say, this particular column, but how can you ignore a particular column? Can you ignore anything? You can ignore only if it is going to give you the same or you can say equivalent result. Fine. You can say if it is going to give you the same or equivalent result, then only you can reduce that. Fine. Okay. So here we are having the rows. So if you reduce the rows, then also we can say that we have reduced the data. But when you reduce these columns, right, you can say that you may ignore few columns. You may ignore few columns. Why you will ignore few columns? Let us say that you, for your student data set, you can say we are having your data, say your name, address, your result, then you can say your hobbies, then we can say your email address, and many more things are there about you. Okay. Now, if I want to analyze the result about your class, if I want to analyze result about your class, do I need to have the hobbies? Do I need to have the email address? I may not need to have. Do I need to have your address? No, I do not need to have. I just want to have, say, your enrollment number. And you can say that name. Name also, if you want, you can keep. Otherwise, you can ignore that also. And you can say that your result, which we want to analyze. And email address if you want to convey to that particular person, right? So this is what we want. At that time we do not want to have this address and the hobbies, right? These things we do not want. We do have the information about those persons, but you can say that you do not require to have the hobbies, address, information for result analysis, right? So what you do is you are only considering enrollment number, name, and you can say result. You do not consider others. So what you have done, you have not used the other columns, right? You do not use the other columns. Fine. So what is that? Okay, you are not using those other columns. That means you are removing them for further processing, and that is what is dimensionality reduction. See, dimensionality reduction is only this way? No, this is one way, that is we ignore few columns and we can say that we will be able to have the dimensionality reduction. Okay. We can have some more things also. That is, we can say dimensionality reduction refers to the reduction of dimensions by creating new attributes by combining the original ones. That means what? Here, let us say that here we are having the column 1, which is salary of 1 month. That is say salary of January. Here you can say it is salary of February. Here you are having the salary of say third month, that is March. And after that, what you need to have is say we are combining the features. So what we can have is we can have combination. That is, let me say that for 1 year, I want to find the salary of that person. So instead of taking salary 1, salary 2, salary 3, salary 4, salary 5, for whole year, that is 12 months salary, what I consider is salary per year, a new attribute I have created, and that is, you can say, is the average of all the months. That is salary from 1 to 12, right? Divide by 12. Okay, average, that means it is divided by 12, right? It is understood, right? So what we have done is, actually we are having the data, that is salary 1, 2, 3 up to salary 12. But what I want is, for my say analysis, I want to have salary per year. So that we can do as average of salary 1 to 12, right? We can have it this way, fine. We can have it this way. So what we have done is we have created one dimension, which is the average of this 12 dimensions. Okay, 12 was there where we can say 12 features. 12 features means salary 1, salary 2, salary 3 up to salary 12. And now we have reduced that to only 1. So where has all this data gone? See, data hasn't gone. We have manipulated that in our data frame object, that is using say pandas, and after that we'll be using only that. So we do not have the data that is called salary 1, salary 2, salary 3. Too much data is there. We have removed all these columns. Instead of that, we have only used this first one. Does it mean that we have removed all those things from the data frame? That is, you can say from the particular file, from the CSV file. No, we are not removing any data from the CSV file, but we are only manipulating the particular data frame in the way that we'll be storing that result in a particular new variable, and then after we'll use it for our data processing. Okay, so that is one thing is we do not use or we ignore the columns or dimensions which are of no use for that particular application, for that purpose. The second thing is, you can say that we can create new features from the existing ones, right, to have the smaller data available. Okay, so that is a way to reduce the dimension. Now one method is that is principal component analysis. It is a technique to convert a set of correlated variables into a set of transformed uncorrelated variables called principal components. There is a method PCA where we are able to find the principal components. From that, what we say is the correlated variables will be able to transform into uncorrelated variables, and those will be able to use for further processing, right? The principal components are a linear combination of original variables. They are orthogonal to each other. PCA components are uncorrelated, so they capture maximum amount of variability in data. However, only challenge is that the original attributes are lost due to transformation. Singular value decomposition is also one method, right? Second one is, say, data pre-processing, which we want to do is feature subset selection. Feature subset selection is the what, that is supervised and unsupervised, both the methods are available. Try to find out optimal subset which significantly reduces the computational cost without major impact on learning accuracy. Feature subset may lead to loss of information as certain features excluded from the final set of features used for learning. A feature is considered as insignificant if it plays no important role in classifying or grouping together a data set of data instances. All irrelevant features are removed for final feature selection. A feature is redundant when information contributed by feature is more or less same as one or other features, right? So what do we say is, one thing is we can remove the insignificant features. Second one is we can create new features. The third thing is we can remove the redundant features, right? Redundant features where we are having this similar information, and so we'll be able to remove them to have the data reduction, or we can say to have the feature subset selection. But we can do this only if we are going to get the same or similar result. Okay. Here I can say we can have dimensionality reduction only if the data set, whatever is remaining, right? Let us say remaining data set uses accuracy that is same or similar to the original data set, right? Then only we should apply the reduction, that is dimensionality reduction. Got the point? Dimensionality reduction we should do only when we can say that the remaining data set will give us the accuracy same or similar to that of the original data set. Fine. So that's all for this particular chapter. Now you can implement with me, and you can ask me. So I'm stopping the recording.